United Church of Canada in ministry. I just want to take a moment to welcome all of Mike's family to this place and to thank you for allowing me the privilege of presiding over today's service. And to Mike's friends, I want to extend a welcome to all of you on behalf of the family. At this time, I just ask that everybody make sure that their cell phones are off, please. This morning we're going to start with what is called an affirmation. A human life is sacred. It is sacred in being born. It is sacred in its living. It is sacred in its dying. The threads of life's sorrow and joys weave a beautiful tapestry of our individual lives. Today, sorrow gathers us again into a caring and compassionate community. And as we gather, let us open our hearts to God, our Creator's perfect and outpouring love. Today, you will do the difficult thing of saying goodbye to Mike, a person you have known and loved. We gather in community to search for life's deepest meanings, to seek the comfort of God, our Creator, and to seek the healing women and men offer one another. And we gather to say yes to life's greatest expression, which is love. Love believes all things, hopes for all things, endures all things, and love never ends. Today, those gathered here must grieve Mike's death, but you must also celebrate Mike's life. Though your grief is strong and you must mourn, do not let the shadow of death obscure the living person who touched each of you many times in many ways, filling your lives with memories, meaning, and love. So this morning, let us be wise enough and let us be brave enough to honestly remember and bravely celebrate the human life that was Mike's life. And so you have come together. It is good that you have come together because you need each other in empathy and consolation, and because you need each other in courage and wisdom. To face Mike's death, to celebrate Mike's life, and to show our love and support for Mike's family, those who knew and loved him the most. So it is good, it is right and fitting that we have come together because a human life is sacred, in its being born, in its living, and also in its dying. And let us pray. God, Creator of all, open our hearts to your presence here in our community of Waterford and in the hearts of everyone gathered in this place to celebrate the life of Michael Edward Westbrook. In our quiet moments when we are attentive, we can see your majesty gazing into a star-filled night sky. We can hear the whisper of your spirit in the wind as it blows through the crops on the field. We can feel your touch in the warmth from the sun, and we can feel your love in a comforting embrace or hug from a friend. God, one of the greatest gifts you have given each one of us is the ability to be loved and to be loved. And God, when a loved one leaves us, it hurts. We ask that you hold Mike's family and friends in the palm of your hand as we journey through this time, remembering this truth, that it is better to have loved someone and experienced the pain of losing them than to have never had the opportunity to love them at all. God, as we have gathered here, help us the Spirit of life rise up within us. At this time, I would like to ask Jill to come forward to say a few words.
Hi, my name is Jill, and I'm one of Mike's many mistresses. Sorry, Lisa, you weren't the only one. I am Terry's sister-in-law, and today this is read on behalf of Terry and the Knight family. 16 years ago, when Mike came into the family, he fit seamlessly as if he was always there. I was quickly almost replaced. The family was asking for Mike instead of me. Whether it was horseshoes, a quick drink, or a weekend at the camp, he was always in high demand. He also got stuck with the not-so-fun jobs of furnace replacement, water heaters, and HVAC becoming the family handyman. He always did it with a smile on his face and gladly accepted the family rate of 20 Michelobes an hour. The kids gravitated towards him, and he was their favorite FaceTime partner. If I happened to answer the call, was greeted with, "Hi Terry, where's Mike?" The family will never forget the fireside chats, his quick wit, kind heart, and his love for the outdoors. On our trips to Wayne's, you could always find out where the action was. Helping everyone get settled in, helping the kids get on the boat, and making sure the cooler was always full, and being on the winning team at the horseshoe pit. There are now 2 empty chairs around that pit that can never be filled. His physical presence may not be here today, but our hearts will always feel him, and his memories will live on. If there's one thing we learned from Mike, it's life is too short to argue and fight. Count your blessings, value the people who you love, and make the most of each day. Mike will be missed. This was written by Amanda, Mike's niece. When we met, I wasn't the most trusting of new people in my family. I didn't want to open up, but that didn't stop you from trying, and it won't. I watched my younger cousins gravitate towards you, and the rest of my family fall in love with you. You were fun-loving and always joking around. I will always remember our fireside chats, whether it was at the trailer or at Uncle Wayne's. You were someone I could trust and a genuinely good guy. I'm going to miss you.
Thank you very much, Joe. At this time, I think Carrie has something that she wants to share.
Dearest Mike, he meant so much to all. Husband, son, brother, uncle, brother-in-law, cousin, friend, co-worker. Overall, just a great guy. We came across this quote that best describes how we feel. You gave no one a last farewell, nor ever said goodbye. You were gone before we knew it, and only God knows why. A million times we miss you. If love alone could have saved you, you never would have died. In death we love you still, and our hearts you hold a place no one else can fill. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you didn't go alone. Ever since you went away, life has never been the same. Yet it comforts us to know that one day we'll meet again.
Thanks, Carrie. Brian? Everybody can hear me at the back, I hope? Good. Might not be good. First off, I would like to thank the family and friends for coming today for my brother Mike. As we sat around the table on Wednesday night, reminiscing around all the great times we all had with him and will cherish them forever. With that, I would like to share a few of them with you today on how he did live a truly incredible life. As many of you know, that Mike had such passion for hunting, working on his nephew's car, Dylan, also Uncle Wayne, his race car, his cousin Jared, and his other cousin Ken, and I can name off a lot more other cars he's probably worked on. And most of all, the love that he had for his family. My brother had the power to light up the room with his warm and caring smile. He was always so happy to see and spend time with his nieces and nephews. No matter where he was,
he never hesitated to get down on the floor to play with them, go for a quad ride or golf cart ride, or even just as simple as having lunch or going for ice cream. He always loved teasing them until some of them started teasing him back. The kids came up with a new nickname for their amazing uncle, and that was Skunkle Mikey. I thank you for all the fun memories you gave them to cherish. I had the chance to ask them, some of the nieces and nephews, describe in a couple of words what he meant to them. I asked Dylan, that's the brother I never had, and a great picker. Tori, lovable and fun. Brayden, lots of fun and an all-around nice guy. Bailey, caring and kind. Brody, thought of him as a jokester and also funny. Austin, he couldn't wait to hear the next nickname he was going to give him, and also El Commander. Personal joke. Britton thought of him and immediately says, he loves deers, and I love when he teased me. I got on here from yesterday. Little B said he stinks. Kind of caught me off guard because I didn't know where he was going. He said because he farts too much. Leave that one alone. Avery loves when he loves jumping on him. And Callie, her FaceTime buddy. Now, I would now like to share a few stories with him. I know you guys know the Westbrooks are long-winded, so you guys probably gotta go to work on Monday, so bear with me on some of them. We've picked a few, narrowed them down, but without these memories, with their Mike's mom and dad, they let us be kids, live our life, grow up, great neighborhood, great family and friends around us. So the memories are absolutely timeless. Just to point out one, or a few here. Mikey was always into hunting, so he was able at a young age, don't know why he had it, mom and dad, but he got a hold of a crossbow. And he thought it was good to have Dad, his brother, oldest brother Chris, and myself go out behind the barn where the old corn crib used to be, and he thought, hey, this will be a great idea to shoot this thing off. So he proceeded to shoot it, and he shot it straight up in the air. What goes up must come down, obviously, correct? We didn't think that plan through completely. And once it was up in the air, we lost sight of it, and Chris, thank goodness he was looking out for us because he told us we need to run for cover. So later, I'm not sure actually when we actually found it, whether it be later that day or what, but there's a railroad tracks that run through our property, and it was found way down there, thank goodness. So that story went well. Another story here that we had was at our dinner table. We're a great family for always getting together for suppers, but we wouldn't have those meals at nighttime if it wasn't for our mother, who took the time each day around 4:30 to start preparing for 4 boys that had an appetite like nobody else. But when it came to the end of the dinner, we were able to sit around, and it kind of sucked for a few of us, but Mike, being Mike, my dad always says, I'll treat you 4 equally. Well, Mikey might have been up here a little bit more. But we don't need to go there. But he would run over, sit on my dad's lap, not just in the last couple of years, but when he was younger, obviously. And he would sit on there, and my dad would draw numbers on him. He'd have to guess the numbers on his back, rub his back for a long time, And then the worst part was there was always a vegetable at the table. Chris is not known for the vegetables. Dan's not known for the vegetables. Mom learned to tell me I gotta like them. So the rest of the three of us sat at the table with Brussels sprouts. So Mike got a back rub as long as we were eating our Brussels sprouts. So sometimes Mike got about an hour and a half back rub because it takes a while to eat. So I could go on and on with these memories of Mike. They're absolutely endless. Each one of you guys in this room, I can guarantee that you guys got stories you can tell, and absolutely endless with them. He brought such an impact to every one of us. If he only seen you for a brief minute, the impact that he had on you in that minute was absolutely breathtaking because it lasted forever. And now we only have forever. So, I'm going to touch base on somebody else here. Sitting around the table Wednesday, Terry quickly learned the rest of the story with Mike sneaking some cigarettes to Terry's niece, Amanda. As Terry could never figure out how their bond was so strong. Enough said. Mike always had one-liners and comebacks. Maybe that's where my kids got it from. Another thing is when Mike had something to say, you were going to hear it whether you wanted to or not. I need to drink water. Now I have another mirror of Chris and Dan. The story how Mike got his name. As Mom was carrying Mike, she asked Chris and Dan what his name should be after, and they came up with, there was an old commercial called Life Cereal, a commercial with the famous saying, even Mikey likes it. Mike, you'll eat anything. After that, my mom had no option but to call him Michael. You may be asking how Mike grew to love hunting. Another quick story, promise. It may have happened with the chicken coop, with Chris having the owner of all the chickens. We would go up late in the evening. Mom was so nice to let us have guns again. Chris would take a gun, Mike would take a gun. We would run up into the barn. Sometimes, I'm not sure if Dan was around the odd time to have us out, which was great. Another gun would be great. But I was the youngest one, so I had to stay at the door. And when I could hear the command from the hunting crew over here saying, turn the lights on. So when I turned the lights on, it was ridiculous. There was a million rats in that barn. But there was less by the time these guys got through shooting. So, and maybe that is where Mikey got his passion for hunting. With you guys up there. Mom and Dad, this one's our Christmas dinners will never be the same. We miss his laughing smile and our famous turkey carver. Mikey took great pride in carving the turkey every year. And now, what are we going to do? Terry, can't say enough. I want you to know that the love he had for you was so incredible and powerful. You are one powerful woman for putting up with my brother. I got here for 17, I heard 16, so it could be 25 for all we know, right? So, even though the running joke was that Mike always reminded you that you could stay with him until he found something better, we always knew he would never find anyone better than you. We knew he loved you very much by the way he teased you. If Mike teased you, you knew he liked you. would like you to know that my brothers and I are here for you, and do not hesitate to ask for anything. We are one phone call away. And with my closing remarks here, when you got to talk to Mike on the phone, at the end of the conversation, or see him down the road, or at Tim Hortons all the time, it was always, take care. And he would take care. Well, he's going to take care of us from up there, which is fine. Not really. And then with another one with Terry, at the farms, or at the farm of my mom and dad, they were out there, and when it was time to go for Mike says, Terry, get your coat on, we're going. And out the door he goes. Terry, I'm not sure if she had to walk down the laneway a few times to get a hold of him, to get the ride home to Waterford, but when Mike said he was going, he was going. So, as my brother would say, take care, and I hope.
Thank you to Brian and Joe and Carrie for sharing stories that reveal a beautiful love. Now, the song that we picked out, one of the songs that we picked out, I will tell you, it's the first time I think it's ever been played in a church, so you may want to mark this date down. But it's called International Carrier. song that farmers play in the tractor when they're going down the Cockshot Road at 10 kilometers an hour? Our first scripture reading this morning is a short reading from the first letter of John, verses 4 to 8 and 11 to 12. It's called God's Love and Ours. And he writes, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us." Well, the second scripture reading is from John 14, verses 19 to 20. "Before long, the world will not see me anymore, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live. And on that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you." We started off with our intention by saying, the threads of life's sorrows and joys weave a beautiful tapestry of our individual lives. Terry, you and Mike and each of your families weaved a beautiful tapestry. One of the things we have talked about in this place so many times over the past little while is what our image of God is, and what might be the best way to describe God in terms we can understand. And I think we came to the place of understanding that God, our Creator, is love. If we contemplate on the writings in Scripture and search for the meaning in the concrete stories we read, we eventually come to realize that God, Creator God, or whomever one holds their Creator to be, is present in all of creation. We come to learn that God reveals God's self in every situation, no matter how difficult or how painful. We will also learn that God is not only substance, but relationship. That we encounter the living Christ, the love of God, and the relationships we have with one another. And from today's short readings, we also learn that God is love. And that the essence of God's love is present in every human being. Richard Rohr, a respected Franciscan author, writes this. He says, "It is so simple that it is hard to teach." God is love, as we read in our first reading, and the love of God within us is seeking to be loved and to bring healing and wholeness to a suffering world. Sometimes that love within us gets covered over by this stuff of living, but it is always there. The living God knows the orientation of Mike's heart. And in the stories this family shared, the love of God that was within Mike, what we could maybe illustrate as an immortal diamond, was revealed in his living. Brene Brown writes this. She wrote, "I believe that God is love. It is that simple and that complicated. And if you try to express love to human beings, and God said, 'I am love, love one another,' we automatically, because we are so afraid of hard things, we would automatically go to unicorns, rainbows, and stuffed animals." She writes, "You would have to send someone to show what love in the flesh looked like. You would have to send, what does love look like? Otherwise, we humans would romanticize it. We would try to make it look easy. So Jesus comes and says, 'Okay, I am love. I sit with the people you are not allowed to talk to. I do all the hard things. I make all the hard choices. I love the people who seem unlovable. I feed people that are not supposed to be taken care of. I don't tolerate shame. I don't tolerate attacks. I am love, and it's hard, it is messy, it is dirty. So there is no way that most of us could have understood what love was without seeing what love looked like. And she closes, so to me, God is love, and Jesus is love made flesh. And it is hard. It is not the default. And it has nothing to do with unicorns or fluffy stuffed animals. It is about choosing what is right over what is easy. I have had the privilege of meeting a family that lives this. And this love was revealed in Mike. That immortal diamond in Mike's core was revealed in his living of life. It was revealed in the relationship that Terry and Mike had and will continue to have through beautiful memories. Terry shared a story about how she and Mike first met. Am I okay to share this? The first time Mike and Terry met was a setup by some friends. And by looking at everyone here, I can just imagine what that might have been like. Terry had been walking in a Santa Claus parade, and when she came back to her phone, she had 32 messages on it from mutual friends. Their friends were wanting Terry to come and meet Mike at the bar they were at. Now, Terry really didn't want to go because, as she said, her hair was all frizzy and her makeup had worn off. But Terry said, forget it, I'll go. And as she walked into the bar with her big frizzy hair and a t-shirt, she sees Mike and their friends dressed to the nines and adds, they definitely already had a few drinks. And Terry says to herself, I can't turn back now. And that was the beginning of it all. The beginning, a new enduring love was born. And again, this love, it was revealed in Mike and how he loved as a husband, how he loved as a son, how he loved as a brother, how he loved as an uncle, and how he loved as a friend. As we heard this morning, his family will tell you that they always felt loved and accepted. And they would also tell you that Mike never hesitated to answer the call for help. And God's love was also revealed in the love Mike had for life and his creation. From the stories the family shared, we learned how Mike thoroughly lived life, enjoyed having a good time. Mike enjoyed the outdoors, he enjoyed hunting, and he loved to race cars. All these stories that we have heard this morning, that this family has shared, they're about love. One of the greatest gifts we humans have been given is the ability to love. It is where we find our peace, our contentment, our joy, and happiness. And it is because of our ability to love that when someone we are close to dies, it hurts. And the deeper the love we have shared with that person, the greater the hurt, the more profound the pain. Today, being who we are, we will try to find words to make this better, to ease the pain and suffering this family is going through. It is what we do. But there is nothing we can say here today that will ease the pain. But what I want to share with you is that as you go through this time of mourning, as you journey through this pain, and we need to take that journey, let the love that you have for Mike and the love Mike had for you transform your pain into compassion, transform your pain into care for each other and for those you encounter in your everyday living. Let that same love, the love of God revealed in Mike's love for you, deepen and broaden Today, none of this seems right. Losing a young person in the prime of their life, there's nothing right with it. There's nothing we can say to make it right. And I think sometimes we'll look for answers to why. Why do good young people leave us early? And we can look for answers for as long as we want, and I think sometimes we have to accept that there simply is no answer. That there are times we simply need to forgive the absurdity of life. And for a time, memories may bring sorrow and tears. But I can promise you this. I can promise you this. That sometime down the road, you will be doing something that will trigger a memory. And maybe when you hear a song like International Harvester, or Red Solo Cup, or watching a car race. It may happen when friends and family gather for a barbecue. It may happen as you drive down the road, stuck behind an International Harvester. Maybe while walking through the woods, or watching as deer gather in the field. It may simply happen in a quiet moment looking out the kitchen window at a sunrise. And as that memory comes to you, you will find that you are smiling. And it's not just a smile that's up here, it's a smile that's coming from your heart. And you will feel warmth within you. And at that moment, you will know that you have turned a corner. And you will truly understand what it is to have the love of Mike live on in you. But from now till then, know that you have friends and a community that you can lean on. I was looking through some papers and I came upon this short reading by Arnold Crompton, and I would like to share it with you this morning. And just think about the words. When I have moved beyond you in the adventure of life, gather in some pleasant place and there remember me, with spoken words old and new. Let a tear, if you will, but let a smile come quickly. For I have loved the laughter of life. Do not linger too long with your sadness. Go eat and talk, and when you can, follow a woodland trail, climb a high mountain, walk along a wild seashore, chew the thoughts of some book which challenges your soul. Use your hand some bright day to make a thing of beauty, or to lift someone's heavy load. Though you mention not my name, though no thought of me crosses your mind, I shall be with you. For these have been realities of my life for me. And when you face some crisis and anguish, when you walk alone with courage, when you choose your right, the path of right, I shall be very close to you. I have followed the valleys. I have climbed the heights of life. At this time, we have a tribute to play for Mike.
Corner of your smile, and all the little things no one will ever know. Like it was yesterday, won't ever fade away. Goodbye is just a word I will never say. You will never be forgotten. A million days could pass us by, but what is time but just a dream? Oh, I still feel you here with me. You're more than just a memory. Oh, you will never be forgotten. I can't hold your hand or look into your eyes, and when I talk to you, it just echoes in my mind. But if hearts are made of dust, and if we fell from the stars, I look up tonight and know just where you are. You will never be forgotten. A million days could pass us by, but what is time but just a dream? Well, I still feel you here with me. You're more than just a memory. Oh, you will never be forgotten. And the world just keeps on going. It has no way of knowing that you're gone. Oh,
and it's called our angel. We wake up in the morning and we look up to the sky and we wonder why he took you before we said goodbye. We look up to the stars at night and know you're looking down. We'd like to think you're proud of us, but we're just stumbling around. We crawl in bed and close our eyes and realize that you are gone. Then comes the fears and then the tears, and life seems so wrong. We glance up at the heavens, and we know you're flying by. Our angel is watching over us. We're happy as we cry. At this time, there would usually be a commendation, but I'll just say some of the words from that part of the service. And they go like this. Go forth upon your journey, Mike. Go forth from this world. Go in the name of the one who created you. Go in the name of the Christ who loves you. And go in the name of the Holy Spirit that has always dwelt within you. Go on your course, Mike, and may your place today be found in peace